So I'm Louise Blake. You've had an intro to me already. I've been working in the data field for around 15 years now. I've seen a lot of change. I'd like to say now is probably one of the most exciting times for data with regards to the tools that are available, how easily they're accessible, and also the type of data that we can actually start to leverage. I've been with Seera now for around 4 years. Prior to that, I was also in Dubai working within government departments. And prior to that, I was in the UK for a number of different industries. So who are Seera? Hopefully, most of you will know who Seera are. For those of you in the UAE, you're probably more familiar with our consumer travel brand, Tajawul, and in KSA, Al Masafa. So we have a number of different brands, consumer travel, where we sell flights and hotels, all the way through to car rental and domestic travel inbound into Saudi, which is a really exciting new space at the moment. So Seera has actually been through its own transformational period over the past few years, and data really is the core of the work that we're doing. So we're trying to understand how data touches each and every part of the company. So not just consumer facing, but also internally within the organization as well. So we're doing a lot of training around data. We're really kind of promoting the need to use data to leverage kind of those insights and really drive the way in which the company's moving forward. So customer data platform, I'm sure most of you are actually aware in the session of what a customer data platform is, so I won't go into too much detail. But really our understanding of it was, we understand our customer to a certain degree. We really want to make sure the customer experience is key to how we're growing our business. We also want to make sure how we're spending our money is in the right way, because it's very easy to spend money, but it's quite hard to track how to spend money well. So in addition to that, we also wanted to understand not just our customers, but how about our customers who aren't transacting with us? What are we missing out on? And once people do transact with us, how do we ensure that they keep coming back and we don't lose them to our competitors? So what really were the challenges that we saw? So for us, we're very much solution focused. So it's not really about, what tools are out there, can we use them? It's around what problems we're trying to solve and how can we solve them? So for us around the customer journey, we've spent the last, I'd say, 4 years developing our customer data platform. So for us, it was really, we had a good idea about who our customers actually were, in the sense of, what they're buying, when they're buying, are they buying certain classes of flights or the type of hotels that they'd like to stay in. So we've kind of felt we had that covered. But what we were missing is we had our standard GA tracking around our funnel conversion. Those of you in the digital kind of online space would be very familiar with that. But for us, it was really around how can we focus on the search and how our customers perform on the platform before they actually transact. For us, once a customer leaves that platform, is that our last touch point? Or can we actually understand by how the customer has left us? How can we retarget those? How can we actually improve the way in which we're working with our customers to stop them converting with a competitor? And I'd say that COVID-19 has impacted the entire world, especially within travel. The travel space is all but none right now. And for us, it's not the case of there's no travel, we sit back and we do nothing, which would be lovely. It's actually more around, this has actually almost pushed us to focus on the upper funnel. So purely around our search, search activity, how people are coming to our platform, also how they're interacting in our stores. And this is something that we weren't previously able to do, was really join up that kind of omni-channel experience, especially in real time. And for us, once if a customer comes on our site, yes, we understood their activity through GA. We looked at aggregations or when people were dropping out the funnel. But for us, the real key was how can we target this particular customer before they go and transact with a competitor, especially if it's something like a hotel booking. I'm sure we've all done this. You search, you browse around so many different platforms. But really, what does it take to understand how that customer can commit to convert with us rather than just use us to understand more about a hotel and then convert with a competitor? Again, around the 360 view of a customer, we really, we have other tools in place that track our customer service. We have tools in place, data platforms in place that track our transactions. We also track our customer, but how do we actually put all of those together to really start to understand the holistic view? So actually, what was our opportunity? So I've touched on a few of these before, but really it's around understanding how to target our customers, when to target them, and with the right message. Again, pretty standard, marketing 101. But for us, it's around, how do we do this in practice? How do we take action upon all this information that we've obtained about our customer? I think one of the issues that we face, and I think many people face, is there's so many data points out there about your customer, but how do you identify which ones you really need and which ones just kind of clog up your data platform and also almost distract you away from what you're really trying to do? Again, around audience segmentation, I mean, no one really wants to have a one-size-fits-all approach to this, because people have extremely different needs depending on the type of travel that they're purchasing. Is it business travel? Not so much at the moment, but is it people traveling with their families? Is it people traveling with their friends? Do they have different needs? Do they interact with our platform in different ways? And should we message them in different ways? And I think that's something that's key, because just because someone has booked a family trip with us doesn't mean the next purchase they make is also going to be a family trip. So it's about understanding someone's kind of search activity for that specific trip they're taking, not just taking their previous, their historic behavior and saying, this is a family booker, therefore it must be for a family trip. So for us, really around having that CDP helps us understand our customer, but also our customer at that point in time. In addition to that, it helps us with our data quality, especially when it comes to how we actually match those customers and how we understand that Louise is the same customer that's walked into a store in Riyadh as browsing the app for the same trip type. So how did we go about it? Now, it's very difficult. I think there's a number of different companies and products out there that all have an offering when it comes to the CDP. But for us, we really wanted to make sure that we have the right tool in place, as I'm sure most people do. But it's an investment. It's an investment not just financially, but also in the resources it takes. It's worth it, but you do need to really think about who needs to be involved from your organization. It's not something that sits purely within IT. It's not something that sits within data or within marketing. It really is kind of it's that point in between all of the different departments that you have within your organization, and everyone really needs to come together to be able to provide their offerings and their evaluation on it. So we looked at the tech stack and we looked at how it integrates with our current capabilities. We're not going to throw away the work we've already done on our customers, but we want to make sure that it does join up to our customer service tracking and it does join up to our data lake. So that was really key for us. We didn't want to invest in a standalone solution. We also wanted to make sure that it had the functionality we need at the moment, but it was also able to provide us with almost the expertise in where we should go to next. And for us, that was one of the key benefits, really, and especially with working with the Telium team, in that we know our data, we think we know our customers, we're going to know them a lot more when this is up and running, fully live. But also for us, it's key to really, understand where we go to next. Although customers are kind of key to our business, we also want to know globally what's happening in the market. And by having, working with almost a bigger player for us is very beneficial, because we're also inspired, as well as it just being, us, demanding what we need next. Also, I mean, security and governance, I think it goes without saying, it's key for us to make sure everything we do. I mean, I think customer data, as everyone will know, it's almost, well, it is your most valuable asset as an organization in whichever industry you're in. And for us, the need to ensure it was safe, and also the need to make sure, we were working in accordance to various different guidelines globally was key for us. So we had our IT security team go through a number of different calls, and we had a number of different iterations. And I think that we're very confident that our data is being kept securely, for sure. So, I mean, these things cost money. They do. They cost money. They cost people. So how did we get that buy-in from leadership? I mean, I think we're very lucky in the sense that, data, as I was explaining at the beginning, is very key to the work we do at Seera. So it really, having that attitude really also helped us when we're bringing new products to the table. For us, it really was around, ROI. So do we buy, do we build? And I think most people are in the same situation. And for us, it's almost, do we have the capability in-house? Probably. Do we have the expertise? No. Also, when you start building these things out, I mean, they change so quickly, and especially within the tech space, within marketing, really you would have to invest in a team solely to be focused on building something out. And then also, how do things change along the way? I mean, we also have a number of different connectors we work with through our data lake for Facebook and Snapchat and Twitter, all of these different APIs that we heavily rely on. And for us to maintain those, as well as all the changes that are happening within the CDP space, for us, it was definitely more beneficial to go along the buy. And again, how do we actually show value straight away? And I think gone are the days within data teams and organizations where you have the luxury to almost sit back for a year whilst you're working on building out your amazing utopia of a data lake. You have to start showing benefits straight away. And what we really liked actually with Telium was, we started off with it's very use case driven. We look at our data that we currently have, start ingesting it, and then build out use case by use case. So we don't have to wait till we have everything in one place, which was really great for us. And we're able to almost say, these are our next deliverable dates. Here's what you can expect and when. And also the what if we don't scenarios. So what if we didn't invest in a CDP? What would happen? What would we not be able to do from our product perspective? How wouldn't we be able to communicate with our customers? And for us, it was definitely a no-brainer. So where are we? What do we have? So now, I mean, we are in early days. I think we will start to see, incredible growth over the next couple of months. We have our foundation data up and ready to go. We're working on our use cases. We do have our customer data platform, which is great to actually be able to say we have, up and running. We are able to segment our audiences based on a number of different criteria. To start, sending out those personalized interactions. So we're just waiting for some of the first results back, but so far we're extremely happy. And we're able to see our customers, how they interact within our platform, how they drop off the funnel, and then also actually be able to measure all of this, which is definitely key. So what's next for us? Really, it's around a use case development. So our first use cases are up and running. We have the next 4 lined up, ready to go. There's a lot of excitement within the organization. We're holding some workshops over the next couple of weeks, inviting in not just our marketing team, but our product team as well, to say, this is what we have right now. What's the next possibility? So how can we start using the Telium data to actually build out products within our platform? We have our personalization model up and running currently. But this is built on our own customer data. So we're looking to make the switch to start feeding in the Telium capabilities as well, which can only improve what we have, we hope. And that's all from me. Apologies for rambling on, but please let me know if you have any questions.
Yes, Louise, I have a couple of questions, but we have time to take one. I'm going to read it out to you. How do you handle 360 customer view when you find multiple users traveling in the same booking, or one user booking for others where user and traveler are different? How did CDP help you resolve this issue, if it ever was an issue? It's by Devam Saxena.
Yeah, I think definitely for us, looking at kind of our customer is the person making the booking ultimately. So that's really our key focus. And we definitely have information around our passengers, but for us it's quite sensitive information. It's the passenger may be traveling, but they're not the one who's actually interacted with us. So it's really key for us to keep that in mind, that our customer is the person who's actually making the booking. So for us, definitely when it comes to identifying that customer and tracking them through multiple touch points, again, irrespective if they're the traveler, we're able to track across our app, web, in-store. So the passenger side, we do have the data, but we keep that data for customer service purposes as opposed to our marketing purposes.